Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It is Francesco here. So guys, today's video is going to be dedicated to travel planning inside of Notion. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been, half of the crowd are like, Francesco's some Notion videos, half the crowd are like, carry on with the Notion videos. I probably will be doing more Notion videos in the next couple of months, just because there are a lot of people out there that need help. So in today's video, we are going to be covering travel plans inside of Notion. I've got my Notion in front of me here, and what I want to do with you guys is share how I specifically use it to map out a sort of outline or itinerary of a occasion or an event that I need to go to. And it's quite a nice visual way. So hopefully it gives you some insights into how to use it. I know a lot of people struggling with the applying it side of stuff because Notion's so open, sort of like the layout wise, that it's sometimes a lot harder to. So you're probably seeing in front of you right now my new Notion layout. Again, I'll probably do a separate video on this into some of the changes and reasons why I've gone to that. It's a lot more simple, so hopefully it can you can sort of understand it. So as you can see here inside of my personal, I've got travel. I use this for another event as well, but I've got two demonstrations here. Barcelona, which I went to last month, and that was a work trip. And I've got a personal trip here too, which is in Bath in the UK. So I want to demonstrate what these both look like. So here's Barcelona. So as you enter the page, the first thing you can see is this lovely cover photo. Although it was a small sort of thing, I basically just got an image, Google Images photo of Barcelona, of the city, and I put it on the top of the page. I think that's a nice entrance. This is something I picked up from David Pierce's video. And I also put the logo of the country because obviously it's abroad, it's not in the UK, so it's nice to have that Spanish flag there. So as you can imagine, this is a lovely way to enter the page. So up here I can see obviously Barcelona, September 4th to 6th, and immediately I have this itinerary of what I actually had going on. So you can see here Tuesday, I had all the timings, and I maybe could have made this a bit neater by putting the times on the left. But I can see basically here, if I wanted to send this to anyone, which I did actually, I went over to the top right hand corner and I used the export function to PDF, and I sent this over to some family members just so they knew my general schedule while I was over there in case they needed to get in touch with me or they couldn't get in touch with me and wondering why. So I've got in this left hand panel sort of layout that. I'm not sure why the Google Maps isn't working, but I had this integration working very well. So I could go onto this page when it was live and I could just quickly see the locations around it, like coffee shops and places like that. And then I've got the conference location here. So I've got all the right information I need to know as you enter the page, an itinerary that I need. Down here, I have 5 documents. I've got the coach information up to the airport, the flight information, insurance information for the flight, and a couple more details. I believe that was the pass for the actual event. So it's actually quite a nice entrance. I can click into these and it'll bring me to a web page which has access to PDF. So that's quite a neat way of doing it. Again, it totally depends on how you go about whether you want to store them here. I didn't necessarily see a need for me storing them here. It was more for convenience when I was there that I could access them. I had them inside of Evernote too, if that's for reference. And finally, down at the bottom of the page, I had a mini checklist of all the stuff that I needed to bring. I'm very light carrier by the looks of it, but I just had the major stuff that I couldn't forget. So that's essentially a travel itinerary. I've done the same for this upcoming trip that I have, and it's very similar. So we start off with the cover photo of the place, a little sort of timings. On the right hand side, the place we're staying at, some of the hotel information like the what's included, the number for the hotel, the address, and have some restaurants in Bath that we could potentially visit as recommendations. And these are actual bookmarks, which is quite nice. They're like full blue bookmarks. Then I've got the train times and tickets that I have here. They're not actually the exact PDF tickets. They're essentially a screenshot of that. So it's not actually the sort of tickets themselves. And then finally, what we're planning to do on the Sunday. So it's a quite nice little like itinerary. It's something that I sort of started to do and it's sort of been using since. So I will be doing it for an upcoming work event to the Slack Frontiers conference. But yeah, it's just something really small, but I quite liked it. I also added the Airbnb icon on Icon Finder to this top bit, so it kind of stands out a bit as well as a little travel. Now, I don't travel a lot. I travel maybe every once or twice a month, so as you can imagine, it's really up to you and dependent on how much you travel. You travel a lot and like, I don't need this, or you travel a lot and you're like, I do need this because I get stressed about what I'm actually coming up, then this could be a good way to plot your itinerary very visually and use the exporting function to PDF it off to family or friends or even colleagues. But if you don't, then I guess you don't necessarily have to use this, but it's a good replication for anything else. Anyway guys, a big thank you for stopping by today. Make sure to check out, and this is really for the beginners, sort of intermediates too, if you want to understand Notion in full, I've got a guidebook. It's on Skillshare. It's free if you're a brand new Skillshare member, plus you get 2 months of premium too. I'll include the link in the description because I know a lot of people are struggling with it. If you've got a friend, or family member or colleague who has recently started Notion and they are freaking out, or they want to use it and then understand how they want to use it, but can't like apply the blocks and elements to what they're visually thinking, then do send my course on to them with that link, because they'll get the access to it and it will take them through what they need to know. Anyway guys, I will be bringing out more Notion videos. The next one will be probably on, actually 2 videos. I'm going to do 23 tips for using your Notion account, and I'm also going to be doing a full tutorial on how to use the template button, which is quite exciting. Anyway guys, a huge thanks for stopping by today. I hope you have a lovely evening, and make sure to keep productive. That's really bad that I've forgotten the outro. Make sure to have a great week. Keep productive. Now I'll see you guys very, very soon. Cheers.